Well, hey, good evening. Welcome back to my little gardening show. It's been a while since I've live streamed anything. Uh, Tonight we are doing some outdoor canning, so I thought I'd go ahead and get this thing set up because I'm going to be babysitting these canners for a while. We're doing green beans tonight, so it takes about 25 minutes to can a batch. So we got one canner going. I've got another canner kind of on standby, ready to go once this one's done. Waiting for this to build up pressure. It's got to be at 10 pounds pressure. So hey bud, what you doing?
Uh,
Did you get the dishes done, bud?
no, I broke something.
Well then go clean it up,
No,
bud.
French press.
It's fine. Just why don't you get
Sorry.
that cleaned up? It's all right. I'll figure it out. Tom. Well, hey, you got an extra French press coffee maker? My son just informed me that he broke my French press coffee maker. It kind of irritates me. I like making coffee in that in the morning because I just boil some water on the teapot, get that going. Apparently, he's unloading the dishwasher, and I don't know if he dropped it on the ground or what he did, but he broke it and just came out here to inform me. So, whatever. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I can't drink a ton of coffee in the morning. I just don't feel right. I don't know. I can do about 2 cups, and that's it, and then I'm good. I actually try to wean myself off a little bit. But yeah, I got my dad. He's like the king of the deal. He's retired, so he's out, looking for deals and stuff like that. He got me. It's hardly used at all. A real nice like deluxe Presto canner. So that now I had 4 canners. I had my little Presto that we got years ago. Got this Presto Deluxe, and I think he got that for about $10 at a thrift shop or something. And then I've got the Old National. I had 2 Old National canners, and my wife got rid of the one because it had a busted handle, and she was in this kind of declutter mode, getting rid of my stuff. Didn't tell me, so I got the canners down today to get everything ready. I'm like, "Where's my Old National canner?" She's like, "Oh, you were using that?" Yeah, I was using that. Anyway, I guess it's at Goodwill now or something. I don't know. I think that's where she took it. So I haven't watched your video yet. I saw you posted something on refurbishing a generator or something. Did you get it working? Well, I tell you, she probably dropped that off this past week. I bet if you go down there, unless they threw it out, maybe they looked at it and thought, well, heck, this has got a broken piece. It's no good, I mean, anymore. People are like that, and it looks like my canner's at the 10-pound mark, so I should probably back off the heat, huh? Don't want this thing to blow up. See if we can turn the camera. Yeah. Oh, my wife's got an icing sample for me. Frosting. What is it? Strawberry? Raspberry. That was good. Let's see here. Oh, we'll back that down a little bit. You went to Cedar Point? I bet that was fun. Did you got a pass to that park too? I know the Kings Island, you got like the annual pass, right? Oh, that's cool. So there, does the same company own all the parks, like Cedar Point, Kings Island, Six Flags, or is it just the parks in Ohio or something? Think is a Great Wolf Lodge part of that too? Well, that's neat. Yeah, it's been a while since we've been to any of the parks. Might have to turn this canner down a little bit more. The pressure is still rising. I should have probably read the instructions on because my other one, the little weight will jiggle. This one doesn't seem to be the case. The little pressure valve is up on it, but there isn't any jiggling happening yet. This other one, I like because it's got the little weight. You just put it on the poundage and then it jiggles around. And as long as you keep it, it keeps clanking, you're good. When you hear nothing but straight air, you know you need to back it down. We've had this canner forever. We got, was it 2.5 bushels? Yeah. 2.5 bushels of green beans. Man, the pressure is still climbing on that thing. Took us about 2 hours to pick all that. And then we snapped it. My wife was wanting to wait till like next week to process them. I was like, no, we need to get these done like today if possible since I'm home and all that. So we did get them done. I probably need to, I've been on this thing for about 9 minutes now, so maybe 20 minutes from this point. Have you been to all those parks? The 9 or 12 parks there that you just listed? That Carol Winds, is that the one that's down in North Carolina?
Did you hear about the coffee thing?
Yeah, what'd he do? Did he drop it on the floor?
On accident. No, he didn't put it on the floor. He dropped down the door.
And it shattered?
But we're okay. It didn't shatter, but Jeff got it on the counter.
Oh, that's cool. I'm talking to Tom, my buddy Tom. You gonna say hi? You gotta be careful. YouTube might flag this video as inappropriate. Just made this kind of cool. Wendy's has got. We're kind of in a hurry, so we picked up some dinner because the kids' cousins are at the house. They're gonna spend the night tonight. But this kind of cool toy that Wendy's had. She put that together by herself. That's pretty good. Her birthday was yesterday.
I turned 7.
She turned 7. And my oldest daughter, how old did she? She's 16. She's not my oldest daughter, my second oldest, but she turned 16.
Yeah.
I think I might have to turn this heat all the way off, man. This canner is still building pressure. Just turn it off. Wow. Yeah, they're growing up fast. It's crazy how quick the kids are growing up. Seemed like yesterday they were all like real little and everything was kind of stressful. You know, you're having to, change them, having to bathe them, having to buckle them in their seats, there's like they were, I mean, they weren't completely helpless, but they were pretty close to it. But now it's like they kind of do their own thing. They're self-sufficient. They can make their own meals. They can cook. Even the little one there, she can cook, and like she knows how to make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. She can get in the fridge. She can put stuff together. She can use a knife, cut her own vegetables and stuff. Yeah, true. Yeah. So it's just, I don't know. It's crazy, man. My brother was in town to visit last week. Yeah, it was last week. So he was here from like Tuesday. He came in Tuesday night and left Sunday. Stayed with us, and then he took the girls, my oldest 2 daughters, back with him to Boston, and took them around the city and all that. It was like a little mini vacation for them, and they stayed with him. So he flew in, and then rented a Nissan Armada, and those things are nice, man. It seated all of us, like there were 8 of us. We went and picked blackberries and stuff, went to the Champagne Berry Farm, picked a bunch of stuff, and then yeah, it's just a good visit. He had a lot of fun. We did a lot of stuff, just kind of hung out and talked, caught up. He spent time with the kids, but took them to Boston. They left Sunday, and then got back Wednesday night. Their flight, they came back into Columbus. Yeah, until it needs a starter. Are they a pain to work on? Let's adjust this up. Sit this back in. Is it hard to get to the starter to replace those, or is it just a cheap starter where it goes out a bunch? Oh. Yeah, my speaking of working on cars, so like I don't know if there's something wrong with the radiator again, or maybe it's fine, but I end up having to top off my antifreeze again yesterday on the Lucerne. So I don't know. I don't know if there's a fitting that's loose or what. It's starting to rain. I hope this canopy holds up and it doesn't leak through. Actually, I better put a lid on that other canner. I got green beans in it. Turn this around. There we go. It's not leaking yet. Yeah, so anyway, there's a little bit, I ended up topping off the antifreeze, so I don't know. Maybe it's losing something somewhere. Maybe it's fine. And then I think the other thing probably is going to need to be done on is a belt tensioner. I think I was reading through that paperwork you gave me last time about how maybe that's starting to go out a little bit and the belt's starting to run. Yeah, I hope that it's not that, because that'd probably be a little bit of a repair. And you probably have to take, what, the top part of the engine off or something to replace that. Oh, I think I lost you, Tom. Yeah, I should probably bring it over to have it checked out. So the thing's got, I think, 168,000 miles on it. I remember you saying that it's around that time the engines on those start to go out a little bit. So hopefully it's not that, because I really don't want to have to replace it if I can just keep it going. Yeah, let's see what the deal is on it. That's the joy of driving an older vehicle, is that ends up being a little bit more maintenance on them. You know, as stuff starts going out. It's been a good car. I haven't had a lot of issues with it so far. My sister's Buick, that old LeSabre, is still running, but it's got a new engine in it. She blew, I think I remember telling you that, was that 2 summers ago, I think it was? Two summers ago, she was heading back from Evansville, and the bottom, like, she threw a rod. Yeah, it's a good car. I in some ways I like the LeSabre better than the Lucerne as far as the seats and how things were. It just seemed like a little more comfortable. Whereas the Lucerne's got those bucket seats that are, I don't know. I mean, it's still comfortable. I can't complain. The car was free, you know. I can't beat free. That canter's finally down at 10 pounds of pressure. How's that car that you bought recently? Is it running pretty good? Yeah, I had to replace one of the door handles. That was in the spring when we were getting all that crazy ice and stuff. And one morning I went to open the door and I ended up pulling the handle out. That was kind of a pain to get that replaced. And to reach up into that door panel and try to thread those nuts on the screws that went in. Yeah, I think this one, I forget how much it was. It was pretty cheap. Maybe $5-10 or something. I don't remember exactly. A lot cheaper than the GM, like the genuine parts. Check out this canter again. Yeah, what I ended up doing was I had when that ice was really bad, like after that we had some more ice and that had coated in there, I had one of those roofer's crowbars. And I was real careful, but I went around the edge of that and kind of pried down the door, you know, to pop it loose. That worked out pretty good. But the hot water that's a good idea. I wonder if I should turn that back on again. It's still pretty good pressure. It'd probably be all right. Looks like the canopy is leaking a little bit on my tank of gas. 3-piece weight set. Are you talking about the canners? I think it's a 3-piece weight. Maybe that's what that little top's for, like I can adjust that or something. This one's got the pressure gauge, and then there's a relief valve on the one side of it, and then there's another place where I can put like a top on. Maybe it's a weighted top. I need to look at that. This other one has the weight that I can just turn it to the poundages. I think it's got 3 different settings. Oh, so I can get a instead of having that topper like it is now, which isn't a weighted. Yeah, I guess this probably isn't the 3-piece weight set, 'cause I don't have. It didn't come with any weights per se. It just has this. I'll show you. It just has that black top that goes on there. Might check eBay if they sell replacement parts or something, or maybe it's like an upgrade for this canner. Get that weighted set. 50332. Okay. That's cool. Yeah, I have to definitely check that out. Yeah, I think these will be okay. I mean, he was actually over the 10 pounds for quite a while, and now it's just slightly under 10 pounds of pressure. And I've been streaming for almost 30 minutes now, so, you know, probably right at 30 minutes, I'll just remove this from the thing altogether, and we'll set up the other canner and get that rocking. And that one does have the weight. I also got a tray of greens I'm trying to start. Let's see. Yeah, I wonder if that's another thing I could try too, see if that other weight would fit that. And who knows, maybe that old National canner, it's got a little weighted thing where you can adjust a knob. Maybe I'll jerry rig that. You know what I should probably do is go ahead and move that canner off. I probably need to get a piece of stone or something to sit it on, because I'm sure the bottom of that is scorching hot. Might be able to take one of the tiles out of that table over there. Let's do that. Pop one of these ceramic tiles out of that table. Hey, what you doing? Yeah, I don't want to crack any jars. We're going to start it up again. This is pretty cool. This turkey burner is, I love using it. We'll get my other canner now. I might turn that down a little bit. Would have done one of these on the inside, but it's been so hot today, and they're doing stuff in the house. So I was telling you that two of my daughters were born on July 5th, 9 years apart. So we got like double birthday. We celebrated Friday. Well, we do like a little family party tomorrow. So they're coming over. We're gonna go out and do some stuff. Just kind of hang out. Should be a good time. So there's a lot of food prep, and their cousins again are spending the night. So we've got them. That's gonna be a lot of fun. It's been a little while since I've seen them because they play softball. They're in like a travel team or something. Actually, two different travel teams. So they're gone like every weekend. Just, it's crazy. They got a pretty hectic schedule. And so we don't see them a whole lot. But apparently down at the park tonight, the Arts Fest that runs from like mid-July to, or mid-June to second week of July. There's like a concert or something going on down tonight. A bunch of like 80s tribute bands, or maybe it's just one band that does a bunch of 80s music. So their parents are down there tonight for that with some friends, and so they're gonna be hanging with us. Should be a fun time. Probably make them breakfast tomorrow and take them to church and all that good stuff. Yeah, yeah, Kings Island. Yeah, I need to take the kids. They've never been to Kings Island. They've been to Holiday World. I don't know. Have you ever been there? It's in Santa Claus, Indiana. It was kind of like a rinky-dink park when I was growing up. I mean, they had different things, and they've got it themed like Christmas World, Halloween World, or it's like themed around the seasons with like holidays and whatnot. But they've really expanded. Yeah, you should go. I think you'd like it. I don't know about the roller coasters though. I don't know how many coasters they have there at Holiday World. I know they've got at least one wooden one. But last time I went, it seemed like they had a lot of neat little rides, and I think they had expanded and put like a water park in too. But it's pretty neat. They got a Christmas store that has all kinds of stuff. With them being located in Santa Claus, Indiana, I guess it's kind of a novelty there. But I remember my mom they'd drive specifically to go She collected little trinkets and like was into like little intricate figurines and things like that. They collect stuff, so they go down there quite a bit. Man, this rain's been crazy. I bet you haven't had to water a whole lot. What are you growing this year? Yeah. We almost watered today. I was looking at the tomatoes. So they're about 4.5 foot tall now, really bushed out, and they got pretty good fruit on them. They're starting to set, and there's a bunch of flowers on them. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, we got, I don't know, probably 6 or 9 Brussels sprout plants out there. They're getting some height on them, but I don't see much yet in terms of the buds. Yeah. But probably the next thing that'll be coming is potatoes. We did all kinds, like they were basically leftover potatoes from last year that we didn't eat, like the smaller ones. They were still good. They were like perfect seed potatoes. So we got them in there, like a lot of reds. I guess they're a little bit healthier for you. But they're probably into this month is when we'll be digging those. I think the tops are starting to kind of fall back. And there's the little berries on top. I'll have to look for that video. You know what you should do is update the description on it so it has a link to that 3-piece weight and the part number, what you were telling me about. That'd be real handy. Then, then when I go to watch it, all the information's there. Maybe the information's already there. Yeah, I saw you got over 15,000 subscribers now, man. That's crazy. I got there's maybe 30 or 40 people that consistently watch, like, you know, the videos I put out and stuff like that. I mean, a lot of them aren't like super educational. It's more kind of vlog style, just taking people along with what I'm doing. So, consequently, things have been growing pretty slow. I think I got 1,060 something. That's terrible. I heard that's a problem though. There's another channel I watched. It's called Plant Abundance. This guy's got a food forest, and he's yeah, I bet. That's crazy. I lost my video feed because I'm on an iPhone right now, and a spam call came in and kicked me off. Like I declined it, and then I noticed the video went down, and then I'm back up. So yeah, anyway, the Plant Abundance channel, he said there's probably about 40 people routinely, like as soon as he posts a video, they're like thumb down, you know, hitting the thumbs down and putting a bunch of bad comments on it, and you know, he's having to navigate all that. It's terrible. Yeah. Fortunately, I don't have any student loans. We got It's fortunate that I didn't have to take out a ton when I went to school like years ago, and got them paid off. Like they've been done for a while, which is good because being on a single income's been tough with the kids. But we wanted to, I don't know, make the investment in them up front. We were in a position to kind of do that at the time. It's getting harder and harder though. Golly, food is so expensive. Yeah, paying cash. I mean, that's the way to do it if you can. You know, on the bright side, I mean, there's a ton of like brilliant people that didn't finish, you know, or dropped out. What, you know, Bill Gates, I think Steve Jobs, didn't he drop out too? What I heard, the founder of Dollar General, like, I don't think he even had like a high school education. I think there was also I was talking to a friend at work about this, some study that was out that was talking about, you know, the most successful people are like B, C students. They did a study like long term. Hey Vince, how's it going, man? They did a study, and it's basically because they have better social skills, like better able to get along with people and just like navigate the professional world and all that. I'm gonna go inside and flip this light on real quick because it's starting to get dark. That way we can still get going here. That's hilarious. I'm gonna flip this light on real quick. Oh my goodness, that's better. Let there be light. Been trying to drink more here lately. I got this big like 30 ounce. We got this at Marshall's. They got a bunch of off-brand stuff, but I mean it's just as good for the most part as like a lot of the name brand stuff. So it's like a towel water bottle. It's kind of like nicer ones, but fill her up and now the thing is though is that I've already had my water, so this is actually raspberry tea that's watered down half and half. It's 15 ounces of the tea, 15 ounces of water in it. Let's move this back. Yeah. Oh, shoot. It's pretty good stuff. Yeah, one place we've been going a little bit to is Tropical Smoothie Cafe. You know, we lived here for a couple years, whatever, and I saw it, and, you know, I was kind of curious about it, but my dad ended up getting us, there's a big jet coming over. Got me some gift certificates. So we tried some, they got those little health shakes and stuff like that. So pretty good in the morning. Every once in a while, I'll pop in there and get me a shake. One of the little health shakes where they got all kinds of different stuff there. I need to lose a little weight though. I've gained some pounds. Seemed like once I hit 40, like, I don't know, I need to eat a little bit different. I feel like I'm about just as active as I was at other times. I'm gardening a lot. We're mowing grass every week and doing yard work, and I've got a stand-up desk at work. Yeah. Yeah, speaking of ice cream, I don't know if I made a video about that, but for my birthday got that homemade ice cream maker, and it's been pretty good. We have made a batch like every weekend. So ice cream probably is contributing to it a little bit. I've got a buddy, he's actually yeah. Hi. What's that?
Did you like make the bed and clean the room?
Where at?
In your mama's room?
I can.
No, did you?
No, I didn't.
We were trying to figure out who it was.
Huh. My daughter just asked me if I made the bed. They're trying to figure out who did it because somebody it's hilarious. Yeah, so anyway, I got a buddy as far as the whole diet and stuff. He's not doing keto, but it's kind of like keto, I guess. Yeah. He's doing let's turn this gas up. He's got a scale and he's weighing all of his food. Like how many grams he's eating. And he's doing it in ratios where I think it is kind of low carb, like he's not eating near as much like the bread and grains. It's mostly meat and vegetables is mostly what he's eating and weighing it out. Like they came over for my birthday. We were hanging out with them and grilled out some hamburgers and stuff. And he had brought a patty. Actually, he brought the hamburgers over. They'd actually made them over at the house, but he had his own hamburger patty that he had weighed out, so he'd know exactly what he was eating, like how much. And it's working. He's lost, I think he's down to like 180 or something like that, and he was at like 250, something like that. So I mean, he's lost 60-70 pounds. Yeah. I don't know. I need to cut back on the carbs. Definitely the carbs and the whether it's the carbs in the food, but basically the sugar that's in the food, I think is probably what's affecting me as far as preventing me from losing as much as I could. I'm sitting at probably 230, 240, somewhere in that. I carry it pretty good, you know, but and I feel pretty good. But I'd probably feel a lot better if I didn't have that. My canner's starting to finally hiss. Once that's done, I'll probably unload this one. The pressure's about all the way down in it. We got some chuck roast in the fridge. I'll have to mention that to my wife. Have her. We'll make some chuck roast in the pressure cooker or the cast iron pot she's got. Have to do something like that. We so last week I posted a video about the food saver machine we got. Man, that thing's pretty slick. The peach truck was in town last weekend, and we picked up 4 boxes of peaches. We gave 2 of them away, like for the family that wanted some, and then kept the 2. Man, if you see that sale again, like if they have another sale like that, let me know. We'll have to stock up. That's an awesome deal. We did so get those peaches. It took me probably about 5 hours last weekend to process them all. Get every 6 weeks. I have to check that out. We got all kinds of so I use that food saver. We process all these peaches and put them on cookie sheets and put them in the freezer after I quartered them and all that and got the skins off of them and stuff. Put them in the freezer to get them kind of to a little bit more solid state. Threw them in those bags. Like I actually got a roll and was able to make my own bags. And sealed them up. We got each bag's got about 3 cups of peaches in there, and I got probably 20 bags, so it turned out pretty good. Well, I was looking at the green beans. I was actually going to do the green beans on that tonight. My wife didn't want to. She wanted to go ahead and get them canned, at least the first batch, and maybe try freezing the next batch. So that's what we're gonna do. Is the next pick them, cut them up and get them ready to go. And then I guess you don't have to boil them in water like par cook them or whatever. Blanch them. You don't have to blanch them. You can throw them right in those bags and seal them up and throw them in the freezer, and they're supposedly be just fine. So I'm gonna try that. Probably save me a little time. It's not jiggling yet. I was gonna ask you, how's your other son doing? The one that you taught to drive. Is he doing okay? Yeah, we picked these. They were not full grown yet, not like beanie. My dad likes them beanie. Like he likes to let them get really mature with big fat beans in them. We don't like them that way. We like them like while they're still young and the beans are like really tiny in there. They're not that big at all. Oh, that's cool. So terminated temp position, and he's got a chance to for a permanent full time. And my sister's boyfriend, he works at a Save-A-Lot, and I guess about, I don't know, probably a month and a half ago. Probably, yeah, it was about month and a half ago, they closed the one store down that he was a manager of. Basically gave him notice, gave him severance, and then paid him to help get the store closed down. So we get a bunch of wire racks from the store. I'm gonna get them in my greenhouse, like configure everything so it looks real nice and stuff like that. But anyway, they let him go, and then he was going to be working for Subway, and then apparently they ended up calling him, I think, a week after his last day. Oh, that's cool. So is that what they're turning that Family Dollar into? Like I noticed I think it's Family Dollar is closing down. They're going to turn that into a Dollar Tree on Dura Road. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, because we were looking at everything, just like counting up the number of stores that have like gone under, stores/restaurants in the last couple years. You know, like that new IHOP that was in town. Huh. I think the light is starting to attract some of the bigger moths. So anyway, my sister's boyfriend, they ended up calling him back and wanting him to take over the remaining Save-A-Lot that's in town, and gave him $1 raise. So it kind of worked out for him, and he's pretty happy, to go back and all that good stuff. Yeah, I was too. Anymore with the cost of food and stuff, everything getting more and more expensive. You think that having a place like that would be a good huh. You hear that? Starting to jiggle. We'll let it go and then I'll back it off. Yeah, it's what my sister's boyfriend was telling me. Like their meat, they do have pretty good prices on all their meat. So I think the next big sale, he's going to be giving us a heads up on that. So we're going to try to get ahead a little bit. Let's turn this heat down just a little bit. There we go. Could probably open up this other canner now. The pressure's just about down on it. Let's go ahead and open it up. Can't really see it that well because it's dark out here, but Well, I didn't burn myself. That's a good sign. We'll pop another towel. Well, I guess we're going to leave it sit for a little bit longer. That other valve is all the way up, so there's still a fair amount of pressure in there that I got to let just kind of come off before that lid can be opened. What I'm going to do this time, once I get the jars out, I'm going to try to cool down the water a little bit so I don't crack the next batch of jars that I put in there. Sometimes that'll happen. I remember you telling me about that sometimes if the water's too hot and you put a cool jar that's got stuff in it in there, it'll just split. And I had that happen probably with 2 of my tomato quarts last year when I was canning tomato sauce. I lost 2 to that where the glass split, and yeah, I'm definitely going to do that. The last year looking at it, it's like, man, why does the water turn red? Oh, that jar's got a crack in it. Yeah. Yeah, water bath canning, I don't know. One advantage to the water bath can is that I've got the big stoneware pots. I mean, I've got the really big one that was a Real King. Sold. I went ahead and got it. I can fit a ton of jars in that thing, and on the turkey burner, on the stove, it would take forever. Even though we got a gas range, it would take forever to get the water to a boil where you could water bath can. But on this turkey burner, I can get, it's got a big enough flame and heat and all that. I can get that thing really going and can a lot of stuff all at once. We're probably going to be doing a lot of canning of the tomatoes this year. I didn't plant near as many paste tomatoes. Like last year I did one whole row was paste tomatoes. This year I just did a little section of them. Most of my stuff is the slicers. It's going to be interesting to see how it turns out. I'm going to turn that down a little bit. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, I don't know what it is with the. I think it's probably because of all the rain or something. Fortunately, most of my like all the tomatoes are doing well. I didn't lose any this year. Unlike last year. Last year we had this like freak straight line wind, real bad storm that went through like in May and basically buried all my plants. I made a video on it. This year I was smart and I tied all my plants up at the very beginning. So even though we had some pretty bad storms, I didn't lose any. And then what we did 2 weeks ago, we went ahead and did horizontal, ran lines, kind of like a Florida weave. So I got the one main line to train them. All that's going good, but then because they were branching out so much, we went ahead and put lines on each side of the trellis horizontally on each 10-foot trellis, and ran lines like 3 foot up, so everything's held together. You know, supported real nice. It's turned out real well. But the cucumbers and my zucchini aren't doing well at all. Like, I think one, because of all the rain and the weather, the way it's been, like pollinators haven't been as active. And so, like, I've had blooms on the cucumbers. And I should have probably taken like a pencil or something and like hand pollinated. Because I haven't gotten really much. We've only got one cucumber and I've got like 6 or 8 plants out there. It's crazy. And then my the crookneck squash, most of them have developed something where they're dying on the vine. I'm not sure exactly what's happening there. It doesn't look like they have been attacked by any of the pests. Like, I haven't seen the cucumber beetles. I haven't seen the squash bugs. I haven't seen the you know, the worm that bores into the root or the base of the plants. I haven't seen any of that. I think it's just been too wet. This thing's going pretty good. I think my knob went down on the other canner. Yeah, powdery mildew, that's what it is. That's what's on them right now. Just crazy. Let's see if we can pan in on this. I'll unplug that. Turn this around. See that canner. We set that pressure valve all the way down. Still doesn't want to open now. There it goes. I might get those little tongs and pull those jars out. Well, it kicked me off. I guess I was gone too long in facial recognition or whatever they use. Kicked me off from live streaming. I could probably shut this off right now. Hey Tom, I don't know if you're back on. It kicked me off. Yeah. I guess I was gone too long. They kicked me off the stream or whatever. But anyway, I've got this other canner full. We'll see if I can. Well, we'll pan over to it once this one gets ready to come off. 'Cause this one is going to be done here in about 10 minutes or so. Probably less than that. That thing's been going for about at least 15. I went ahead and turned the heat off of it. But I was busy taking that hot water out, kind of getting it down to a temperature where I knew it wasn't going to crack the jars. I better close that sliding glass door before the moths get in the house. So far so good. It looks like all the jars sealed. All the lids are down flat now where they've cooled off enough that they've sealed, so that's good. Oh, the other thing I got today, I don't know if you've grown any of these, but I got beets. It's the first time I've tried like really growing them since we've been here. Like there's been years I've kind of played around with it, but never really did a whole lot. But this time I kind of cultivated the ground and all that, worked the seeds in and put the mint lighter, used the mint lighter whatnot. Anyway, I got some pretty good beets, probably 7 to 10. We picked today, like nice size, like racquetball size. Yeah, maybe it's an acquired taste. I got I may try eating them fresh. I thought about pickling them, kind of like how we do the sweet and sour pickles. Doing something with them along that line. I better plug this cord in. We got a few more to pick, but everything else is starting to, the radishes and things, I need to do another round of them because this first batch is pretty well done. They've gone to seed actually. And then my dad, he's got his turnip patch going. We let a bunch of turnips over winter. And it's kind of cool because they put flower shoot up real early spring, and there's like these really pretty like yellow flowers all over the place. Well, anyway, we let them go to seed and then mowed them in, and now we got all these turnips that are growing next to the rhubarb, where when we mowed down the plants and scattered all that seed, that whole area is filled with turnips. So it'll be kind of interesting to see how that plays out this fall when those start coming in and whether they're going to be any good or not. I'm trying to think what else has been going on out there. We had a rabbit that was getting into one area of the garden. It was a baby, like a real young rabbit. So even though I had the yeah, I don't really like turnips that much. My dad loves them. I'm not into them so much. He likes making soup, and he's got a food processor or whatever, and he'll every once in a while he'll make these crazy salads where he'll take whatever veggies he's got kind of left over in the house, along with lettuce, and he'll just run them through the food processor. Yeah, we did say cherry bell radishes this year. They were really good. Turned out real well. Looks like this canner, I'm gonna move this canner off so I can start the other one up. Let's see here. See what's going on. Get that canner there. Get this thing going again. All right, it's going pretty well. One more batch, and we'll have all the green beans canned. So you working on any cars? You turned down a starter job? Yeah. I imagine it's tough. You probably get hit up all the time. I know, whoa. Say somebody's letting off fireworks in the neighborhood. You know what's funny about this? These fireworks you hear is my next door neighbors. They're pretty particular about things. I wouldn't be surprised if I don't see the police. Yeah, it sounds like gunshots, but it sounds. I think it's M80s going off, or firecrackers. Anyway, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't call the police here after a while. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of cool. We went to Springfield here. They had their fireworks show on the 1st, I think. What was that, Monday? So we went out to the 4-H grounds. The police were waiting for it. That's funny. So there, I remember a couple years ago you were telling me like you had stuff going, the neighbors warned you the cops are coming, you guys put everything up real quick. That's funny. Uh, um, yeah. There's a channel. I think I sent you a link to it a while back. It was a while ago. What was his name? Peter Stribel or something. I'll have to send you a link later. But he, I can see the light like flashing on the house, so you can kind of tell where it's at. Anyway, it's Peter Stripel, I think is his name. Anyway, he hit in celebrating a million subscribers. He did a really cool, like, big life-size little tank firework deal, but it was like they made this huge, like, real-life scale model, scaled it up and packed it full of fireworks, and I guess at the very end the whole thing just blows up and there's stuff going everywhere. It was pretty hilarious. But yeah, so anyway, we went down to the fireworks there at the fairgrounds. Decided to go down. We kind of go down there every year, and we've sat at a couple different places. Decided to park pretty much right across the street, and there's an industrial complex back there. I think that's where Gordon Foods and a couple places are anyway. Got a front row seat, you know, seeing everything go off. It took about, I don't know, 45 minutes to get out of there though because of all the traffic. So we got home about midnight, you know, and trying to go to work next day and all that good stuff. But kind of crazy, I did it on first, but talking to some people there, and I don't know if this is true or not. I mean, it made sense, but apparently, you know, the city's charged a premium if they do them on the 4th, you know, because I guess there's a lot of demand for fireworks companies to put on shows on the 4th of July. Yeah. Yeah. But pretty good show, you know, lasted quite a while. And then I think it was Wednesday when I went to pick up the girls there in Columbus. Columbus must have been doing their fireworks show, and their flight got in, I guess, a little after 10:15, something like that, p.m., and there was a ton of police on the expressway leading to the airport, you know, going along downtown, the riverfront and all that, where they had a big show going on. I could see them, you know, from the expressways as I was driving through, the fireworks going off. Which I was glad I had. There's an app, it's called Waze. I was running that, and it was pretty accurate as far as showing me where. Wow. Yeah, we've never been. Never been up to Mason. There's more stuff going off, sounds like. That's hilarious. Man. Yeah, best one of the best fireworks shows that we ever went to though was in oh, where was that at? He's in like Northwest Indiana. Was yeah, no, it's crazy. I think the neighbors, they're a couple houses down. There was a bunch of cars parked there earlier, and people playing around like kind of teenagers and stuff. I'm kind of wondering if they're doing something tonight over there. I know we were at what was it, Indian Lake. So we went up to Indian Lake this week. I took Friday off to kind of make an extended holiday here. So we took the kids up to the lake with their friends to celebrate their birthday and stuff like that. Or one of their friends anyway. And my dad went, my sister went with me, and we went fishing while most of the kids went swimming. I had my son with me. We were fishing there at Indian Lake, and apparently where we were at, the Indian Lake Park or whatnot, they were getting ready to set up the big fireworks display because they were going to have a big kind of festival today. They had a bunch of vendors that were pulling in, but we got to see up close. They backed in where we were fishing because we were kind of away from the main beach. They backed up and set up. It was pretty neat how they were setting up the show. They had basically had these canisters, and they were packed with the firework, and they were plunging them down into these racks of canisters. They're at the point on the beachhead there, so it's kind of cool watch them set up. But the best show was in Northwest Indiana. Trying to think of the name of that little town, but it's basically a campground, right? So a bunch of RVs and all this stuff. And man, that show had to have been close to an hour. Yeah, it's probably close to an hour long, and we were on a country road watching it, and they started the show with these like these light up balloons, like basically the where you light them and they take off flying in the air, and they're all lit. They're real pretty. Probably about 200 of them going out over the bean field, whatnot, and then just really awesome display. I mean, it's probably several $1,000s at least they spent on that show. Man. Well, I don't see any blue lights yet, so but if that keeps up much longer. Oh shoot. You been to Harbor Freight here recently? Yeah, it's been a couple months, but ago, I guess when we got our tax return, I went over there and they got some. Yeah, I know they send coupons like all the time. Like, um, you get them in the email. Once in a while, you get the newspaper type stuff in the mail. You hear that? Oh, really? Is it our neighbors down there that are firing them?
No, it's across the way.
They're firing them behind us.
Where they are.
Okay.
I could just see them. That's all.
Well, I'm gonna have to cut things short, I guess. My significant other is calling for me, so hey, it's been good hanging out with you, Tom. And we'll have to catch you on another live stream. Yeah, we need to do that. That'd be fun. Maybe a canning episode or something. She's waiting for me. All right, we'll catch you later, man.